stop at knee cut, but for the sake of just like starting and figuring out what's going on with the De La Riva, or Reverse De La Riva, it's easier just to have a person, you know, be cooperative. So I have my Ethan standing up, right? The hand, its job is to control the ankle here. So I'm scooping in between my hip and the ankle here, and this allows me to use my bicep to help pull myself underneath my person here, right? The hook, right? What I want is I want maximal surface area contact between my leg and the Ethan's leg here, right? So I'm almost trying to like climb my leg up, and I want the foot to be like hooking like almost up towards the hip here, right? A lot of first timers, right? They're like just bringing this foot across here, but there's like right now zero, not zero, like very little of my leg is in contact. So what I think about is I want my head to almost be underneath Ethan's here, and this will allow my foot to wrap around and connect myself to Ethan here. And this way I can use my hamstring to help pull, right? By bringing my heel in, it helps pull my hip around this angle here, which is nice. Right? So in combination with the bicep, we get a lot of ability to move ourselves towards my opponent, right? So that's going to be the pull aspect of this guard, right? Because when we're controlling a person, we want to be able to push and we want to be able to pull, right? So we've got two pulls, and the push is going to be this other foot here, right? This will keep Ethan from crowding my space, right? So I use the pulls to keep myself connected. I use the push to maintain and manage distance, right? So when we're first starting out, right, I want to be able to move myself around Ethan here, right? I've got a good connection to his hip, right? I can kind of manipulate his weight, right? And then this is how we're going to be annoying with our Reverse De La Riva guard, right? My favorite drill is like the Kiss of the Dragon one, right? So what I like to do is I like to start with a push, right? That way the person on top is inclined to push their weight back into you, otherwise they fall down. Alright, so Ethan's got a good base, he's like acting like we're training, so I can push, and then when I feel his weight, now I can pull myself underneath him here, right? And I like to try and get my center of gravity right underneath his, and then I can get into this kind of reverse X type position, right? And then from here, we can stretch him out and escape here. Alright, because usually with this Reverse De La Riva, what I want to do is I want to get underneath him, and I can start disrupting his base that way. Right, so push and pull. Right, I'm using this arm here to help finish my hip rotation, and I want to end up with his shin, like right up on my shoulder here, nice and tight. I have this arm poking his leg, and I've got both of my legs here, able to extend them away, and now I can start coming up here. Pushing, and then my legs and my arms work in unison to help pull myself underneath, right? So when I get here, this is where I transfer my leg from being behind his leg here to in this X, right? And then I want to control his knee here. I've got his calf pinched between my shoulder and my head, and now I can extend him out. Come on. Oh! Alright, so as you get comfortable with this, right, then we can start lowering the amount of space. Alright, so instead of having Ethan stand, right, he can kneel with one foot up. Right. Get set here, right, and same thing, right? I'm pulling myself underneath, there's now a little bit less space, right? So there's some adjustments that'll have to be made in order to complete that move. So I want to pull underneath here. This hand helps pull me the rest of the way, right? And here, because this leg isn't up, I prefer to go into this like basically back control with our hooks in here, right? And we can make this connection, either start scooting our hips out, or we're ready for him to like roll over to his side, right? Because then we're in our nice crab ride, and from here we can take the back. Nice and mobile. I like to hold on to the ankles here. This gives me, this, an aspect of control. It keeps me from just running away until I'm able to come up and get my hip control. All right. From here, I can either come up or I'm ready to stay attached while he does weird transitions. Ooh. And then we can look at from the knee cut, right? So usually, right, as I said before, I encounter the reverse De La Riva mostly from as a person is passing, right? So one of the things, right, his goal is to get this knee to the mat here, right? And then once this happens, it's going to be really, really hard to recover our guard here, or our reverse De La Riva, because now I can't scoop his ankle at all, right? I'm gonna have to do something else with the knee bump thing, right? So my goal here is before his knee touches the mat, right? If I can scoop in and make this hook here, right? That'll give me control over the bottom part of his leg, right? So if you can frame, like before you're able to scoop underneath, or use this knee shield to help keep him from progressing forward, right? That'll help until we're able to make this connection here. Once we get our reverse De La Riva set up, right, then I'll be able to kind of push him away a little bit more in order to make these transitions happen, right? But so just go ahead and pass through, right? So sometimes when we get here, right, we need to like build up a little space here, right? So what I look to do is, again, trying to control this knee here, right? And if I'm able to get this knee in front, right, and my foot's already starting to hook into the hip here. Let's rotate. All right, and then from here, I'll be trying to push his weight away. And then once I get the ankle control here, I'm feeling pretty good, all right? With his weight back, it's going to be really easy for us to make this transition here. My own leg here, right? If I can get this grip and use this to help elevate here, then we can move to different stuff. But
my hands are on the floor, so
yeah.
my weight comes up. Yes. Oh, that's so nice.
Right, and once his weight is on his hands, right, I have a lot of ability to move myself underneath and get attached to him from behind.
I should do it this way. So you can see. So you're gonna be here. So my knee never touches the floor, right? If my knee touches the floor, so you have that hook too. Mm-hmm. So it's like it doesn't matter. I can drive all my weight into him. I'm not gonna pass. Yeah. Right.
But if this
drops, yeah, that's gonna be bad.
Then it's really hard to get any sort of control. So like I'm trying to get this foot almost in the hip here, and then I can.
So no matter how much, like I can put all my weight pretty much down on Kevin right now, and he's just gonna extend, right? My hands go on the floor. Now look how much space he has. He can pretty much do whatever he wants.
Butterfly half, right? Very similar movement, but instead of hooking the same leg, by hooking to the inside and kind of getting his weight onto his hands here, right? Then I can start passing my head to the outside, getting locked down onto the hip, and then we can kind of start working on that. Oh, God. Very similar movement where we're actively trying to scoop ourselves underneath our opponent, right? And using our connection here.
Like a hip scoop.
Yeah. And if I can pass here, oh God, I like this. I don't know, yeah. Right? It can feel kind of awkward, right? Because I'm not in a really great position to get up immediately unless I let go of my grip, right? But Ethan can't really do much either, right? And I have options for kind of whatever he does because I have such good control over his hips, right? If he chooses to do nothing, we can pop our hips out, again, elevated, if I get here, right, I can use my hooks to make space to help pass my head. Right, and then here I like to gable grip and lock his hip down here. So, right, from here, right, this hook elevating here. And I've got this either controlling his ankle here, or like if he starts getting away from me, right, I can be here, right, and I'm passing and keeping this space in control, right, where if I need to like pop my head up, I can make that happen here. So I'm constantly like monitoring what is controlling like on the inside of his knee here, and I always want like something, right, controlling his leg here, so that I'm never like getting completely squished. Right, one of the reasons that when I was a younger belt, like white, blue, purple, brown, I never really liked half or deep half because I always felt like I was being squished underneath someone, right? I was just like inviting someone to sit on me. And I couldn't figure out why someone would want to be in that position. But if you have your hooks in right, even though you're underneath them, we're still in control of this position here, right? I can always get a little bit of weight or like give myself a little bit of space, and I'm never being completely squished because I can just make a little bit of room here, right? And then once I get locked in on the hip here, right, I'm not on his back, but I'm on my way there, right? I'm behind him, I've got good hip control, and I can start setting up my back takes here. Similar, go back to the recut for me. All right, similar thing here, right? I'm passing his leg to my other leg as I make this transition, right? And even if he does something like, if he does stuff, right? I'm gonna be keeping control over this leg here, and then I can transition to other stuff, right? But like having your legs always be actively following and like sticky hooks is gonna be key to making these moves work and to make sure you don't end up just like inviting someone to sit like on your chest or on your face there and keep them from passing it over. Let's just go. Right, so I like my hand here, I like to keep it on the knee as well, right? This does kind of, it might open you up to Kimura's, but if you're actively messing with his hips here, he ideally won't be able to feel like he's settled enough to take his arms off from working his base, right? Otherwise, this can be dangerous, so you should realize it, but by controlling his knee, I feel a little bit more comfortable because I don't want this knee to pass and him end up in like a mount position. All right, so I'm always kind of monitoring here, right? And then a lot of the times I like to extend, right? And if he's not basing, then he rolls back. If he doesn't, then I can like move to other attacking positions. But I don't have a lot of control over his upper body, so you know sometimes people roll, sometimes people base and try and stay on top. They can be a little dynamic, but all right. So just I would like to emphasize when we're here, just like always having these hooks playing and active and being dynamic and following him. Right, and when need be, like you can use them to give yourself a little bit of space so we can move around. Right, and try and stay attached to the hip. So then, if they do roll, we're able to like come up with them as opposed to being. Right, so, sorry, there's a lot of weird space. Right. Go ahead and play how you would.